Hey Netflix fans, I'm Nika Chung. Welcome back to my channel. Hope y'all are having a great day. I just want to say quickly guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And if it's your first time, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So today I review Netflix original The Dig, directed by Simon Stone. There is one interesting fact you probably may know or may not know behind the story of The Dig. Let's go! The excavation of the Sutton Hoo near Woodbridge in Suffolk, England is nearly a site of two early medieval cemeteries that dated from the 6th and 7th centuries. One cemetery had an undisturbed ship burial with a wealth of Anglo-Saxon artifacts. Most of these objects are now held by the British Museum.
We're coming towards the edge of the atmosphere.
You say the word, and I'll dig.
The Dig, directed by Simon Stone, who directed The Daughter that premiered at the 2015 Toronto International Film Festival. He won the Best Adapted Screenplay at the AACTA Awards. And it's starring Carey, Mulligan, Fiennes, Lily James, and Johnny Flynn. Based on a true story before the World War, in 1939 Suffolk, landowner Edith Pretty hires a local self-taught archaeologist-excavator, Basil Brown, who hires him to dig up the huge mounds of Edith's property in Suffolk. They didn't waste no time. As they were digging, they struck some serious gold. First, he came across a skeleton of an 88-foot ship dating to the Anglo-Saxon period, when the Vikings were running things. This was one of the most important archaeological discoveries of all times, certainly in British archaeology, and I would say definitely the world. The next phase was discovering the burial chamber within the ship, filled with treasures of almost perfectly preserved artifacts made from gold, a garment, a stunning helmet, shoulder clasps, a golden belt buckle. When Edith and Basil lock in eyes across from the hole in the ground, so speechless and discovering that this was one of the greatest finds since King Tut. The first half of the film is mostly Mulligan and Fiennes, and there is an interesting dynamic at work. They come from two totally different worlds and classes, but they do intersect in important ways. Well, they share a passion for knowledge, for discoveries of the linkage between eras and peoples. When Tutankhamun's tomb was excavated in 1922 by a British Egyptologist, Harold Cotter, who Edith's name drops at one point. Very interesting. The plot thickens when people descend onto the land to continue the dig and Joe Sal for credit. Now we have Charles Phillips, a famous archaeologist who declares the site far too important to be in the hands of Basil, who he thinks is an amateur with no formal education. Now, part of the new excavation team is Stuart Piggott and his budding archaeologist wife Peggy, Edith's cousin. Rory, who is handsome and charming, takes photographs of the dig, but the film shifts and gets sidetracked, focusing on Peggy's dissatisfaction in her marriage. Stuart seems just a little bit too into his male colleagues. You know, something was really up. Them beds were separate. That's a huge giveaway. Rory is so friendly and gentle and makes Peggy feel things that she's never felt in her marriage. It probably felt like a decade for her. Lord have mercy. These complicated emotions matter arrive over an hour into the film. Basil mostly disappears during this section. What really matters is the dig itself. Stone's attention to detail is crucial. He shows how a dig must proceed, the dangers of a dig, how artifacts are discovered and then removed from the dirt. The way it's presented helps a non-archaeologist-minded audience members understand what is happening and how. You believe in Fiennes' expertise. The other element is the approach of the war. The RAF planes roaring over the field with increasing regularly. Everyone knows that once the war is declared, digging will have to cease, unfortunately. There are moments of emotion and triumph, especially during the sequences of discovery. But the mood overall is understated, quite thoughtful though. Philip makes an impassioned speech about what the Sutton Hoo find. Researchers assume that the Anglo-Saxons were savages, warriors, but exquisite artifacts discovered show that they had art, culture. The Sutton Hoo find represented a shift in consciousness around the shared ancestry and legacy and a sense of ownership over the collective past. I like the characters in this movie, especially Edith Pretty. She is a widowed, living in this huge estate with her son, has a passion for archaeology, and offers Basil more money than the museum, and made it known to the high society archaeologist that Basil Brown is a true discoverer of the Anglo-Saxon on her property. She kept her word and made sure he gets the credit he deserves. I saw the expression on Charles' face when she told him that. I know he did not like it. He is so greedy. As the old saying, wants all, lose all. And Basil Brown is a humble man of working class origin who was taught how to excavate archaeology sites by his father and his grandfather. What I admire is the bond that Edith's son Robert has with Basil. He was like a father figure to him. He spent time on the site. He never told him go away kid, I'm busy. The bond was just really cool and kept his promise of gazing to the stars. That is awesome. Basil is a good man indeed. And Peggy was so fierce. I like the fact that she's seen hidden clues and signs from her husband. She didn't waste no time to settle for someone who don't really care about her when she can truly find love. Lily James, who plays Peggy, she definitely reminds me of a young Keira Knightley. I really enjoyed watching the dig. Quite thrilling to make a discovery of an Anglo-Saxon, beautifully told story of a great historical find. This intelligently scripted, superb acting of the film deserves your undivided attention, and the struggles of a practical, intelligent man against archaeological establishment. This was quite common, and I believe probably still happens. Explorers and adventurers make some serious discoveries of finding things from land or the ocean and have no choice to give it to archaeologists and the museums. And some get paid for the discovery but never get credit or recognition. There's been quite a few movies lately related to discoveries of treasure. I think this summer will definitely be trending of explorers and modern day Indiana Jones. I need to dig up my backyard and see if I can find something. What you guys think about the movie? Let me know in the comments below. I'm your host, Anika Chung, and I'll see you next time on my next movie review. Love yourself always, and remember, be excellent to each other. All right, guys, see you on the next film. Cheers!
Herself a soldier, she's a part of the grand cavalcade.